Plato's Republic serves as a foundational blueprint for an information architecture. It provides rules for how data, truth, and citizens should be organized to prevent societal collapse. Central to this plan is the myth of metals, the claim that human beings are born with different base elements in their souls. Plato used this to sort the population into rigid, inescapable tiers based on their inherent nature. This ancient concept maps directly to the informational genetics of the modern world. Instead of metals, we use behavioral data to lock citizens into specific silos and echo chambers determined by their digital origins. This model assumes that stability is only possible when people are trapped inside data structures they are never permitted to question. At the top sit the gold class, the philosopher kings. They act as the central processing unit, holding the ultimate, unquestionable truth for the entire system. Below them is the silver class. These are the soldiers and auxiliaries, acting as the firewall of the system to enforce boundaries and prevent informational leaks. At the base is the bronze class, the workers. In Plato's architecture, this tier is restricted to lower-tier data and manual execution, lacking access to the higher-level logic of the state. To maintain this separation, the gold rulers employed the noble lie. This is a state-sponsored deception designed to force the bronze and silver classes to accept their restricted status as a natural law. This system prioritizes stability by actively suppressing individual human agency. The goal is a predictable collective, achieved by limiting the movement and will of the individual. This architecture creates a single point of failure. The quality of the entire state depends on the assumption that the tiny gold class is both omniscient and immune to corruption. Information that contradicts its environment is physically unstable. Landauer's principle, a law of physics stating that erasing or suppressing information costs heat, dictates that maintaining a massive societal lie requires a continuous expenditure of energy. The state must work harder to hide the friction between propaganda and reality until it lacks the energy to continue and collapses. The Paradise Reciprocity Economic Framework, or PREF, provides a software update for this architecture. It seeks Plato's goal of harmony, but uses verifiable data instead of forced deceptions. Plato's model relies on substance ontology, the error of treating truth as a static noun, like a gold coin that can be hoarded. Ontology is the branch of philosophy that deals with the nature of being. PREF utilizes process ontology, where truth is a verb. It is defined as a continuous thermodynamic state of alignment between an agent's actions and the environment's feedback. This shifts the focus from building with fired bricks, artificial dogmas that crack under pressure, to igneous stones, which represent observable, indestructible reality and verifiable outputs. The rigid top-down hierarchy of the Republic is replaced by a fluid network that continuously rebalances itself based on objective reality. Stability in the system is not achieved by locking people into place, but by building a network that adapts to the physical facts of its environment. The truth engine is the mechanical antidote to the noble lie. It is a system designed to audit the mathematical output of an idea rather than its rhetorical polish. When the truth engine processes a new idea, it ignores the speaker's genetics, their caste, their status, or their historical authority. The vector test audits actions on a coordinate plane of social morality versus individual will. Extractive ideas map as negative vectors, landing in the destructive greater lie quadrant. Constructive ideas shoot into the greater good quadrant. Trajectory proves value, not status. This system determines the worth of an idea solely through the mathematical trajectory of its impact, neutralizing the power of elitist silos. Because the truth engine constantly audits reality, the rigid castes of Plato's model become mathematically obsolete. Information can no longer be hoarded by a single class. The civic merit system replaces inherited status. It is an engine for social mobility driven by verifiable contribution. Every action creates a moral fingerprint, a real-time calculation of a citizen's contribution to the stability and growth of the network. If a citizen produces an output that demonstrably benefits the collective, their systemic status updates instantly. Their vector moves upward, regardless of their origin or prior tier. This architecture creates a state of total dynamic social mobility, where authority is the result of positive physical resonance with the group. Unlike the modern internet, which uses algorithms to isolate users into friction-heavy echo chambers, the civic merit system uses the truth engine to make the consequences of all actions transparent. Plato correctly desired a harmonious society, but his method of suppressing human agency to achieve it created the very friction that leads to collapse. By following the rules of informational genetics and thermodynamics, we can build a society where the best ideas naturally rise because they minimize the energy cost of the system. When a system aligns individual will with the collective good, the tension between the self and the state reaches zero. This is the calculus of bliss, a mathematical state where the most selfish path for the individual and the most beneficial path for the group are identical, making perfect harmony a physical certainty.